Natural gas is the highlight of the day. We're starting backwards today. Natural gas plus 575. SR counter trend 2V2, 1M, 5M, and 15M all hit their profit targets, 575 each. All strategy access 4. Natural gas SR counter trend 3 plus 835 on the day, hitting its profit target. So natural gas was the highlight of the day. Not a market that we talk about a lot or even focus on a lot, but nice trading results, plus 2,300, more than $2,300 in profits in natural gas today, and on the short side. So interesting to see natural gas strong below the $2 level. Cobra Gold plus 575 on the day. SR counter trend 3, A and B on crude oil were down, minus 825. Crude oil pulled back, pretty strong pullback, over $2 from high to low. And then Cobra Crude, profitable, plus 195 on the short side. All strategy access 3. Soybean swing, big trade on soybean swing, plus 650 on this trade. Open position, holding it overnight. We talked about how strong soybeans is, but we are short-term traders, and it's a good swing short. And so soybeans could come back and test that $10 level, and we're short into that. And SR counter trend 2 soybeans minus 525, and other trades on this workspace were minus 31.25 in Cobra Euro 4. Not much going on. Significant pullback in the euro, as it seemed like all the markets were selling off today. Everyone's going to cash. It seemed like that early on anyway, especially in markets like gold. It's interesting to see crude oil down, gold was down. That's the 80-point range in gold, down $45, down 2.3% on the December futures. Made a low of 1885, highs at 1962.90. So big pullback in gold, and it's bounced back since the low at 1040. And it's at 1916, so it's really low. 2 losses on gold flash from that, because you try to pick those reversal points in gold, and gold just kept selling, and big sell off, and then a small rebound in gold today. You can see that on the 60-minute charts as well, and it's interesting price action. Would not expect that. Stock index is very choppy day. I want to go over the stock index. So the S&P was down around 100 points intraday, big range, high 33.26, low 32.17, over 100-point range on the S&P. NASDAQ, it closed up on the day, up 62 points right now, and it continues. Every day feels like a pullback, one more pullback to rally, one more pullback to rally, one more pullback to rally, because it is so low, and VIX, the spikes are not that strong. Today it did spike up. It kind of looked like it was going to spike higher, but now it's back down at the 27 handle, up 7.67%, or up 2. And so really taking its time to support 25, and really big head fake. It keeps feeling like this market is pulling back so that it can make another run at these highs, even though it probably shouldn't. We think that it's in the market to do that. So the way this market has been acting, and have been waiting for that bounce to happen. And so today it closes up. And, if you compare this close to the close 2 Fridays ago, on September the 8th, the close is 11.027. We're only 40 points off the close. Actually, what day was that? That was 11.048 was the close on the futures on 9/11 was the close 2 Fridays ago. And then I guess, you had this sell-off here. The low of the sell-off was 11.129. So the market's not breaking down this original 2-day sell-off. This original 2-day sell-off came down to this price level, and it's just not breaking down that level in a strong way. VIX is not surging in a strong way, but the pullbacks are still large and brutal and very choppy, and so very challenging. You see this on the this tricky move on the NASDAQ as well. It sells off, and you could not get a continuation into the trend. You look at the afternoon, and the market looked like it would rally and then potentially roll over here once again at these high levels. And then the last, what's interesting is the last 10 minutes at 15.50, the low was 10.901, and then it rallied almost 100 points since the last 10 minutes of the cash market into the cash close. At 15 minutes it traveled about 100 points on the NASDAQ. So it really changed this pattern right here. This pattern looks a little toppy, like it's going to roll over back in the trend, and boom, it pops 100. Changes everything up on the day and could be off to running higher. And so tricky market, hard to short, continues to be hard to short. And so let's look at the trades on the day. So all strategy access 1, Cobra 3 minus 625, Cobra 3 NASDAQ minus 625, adaptive moving average aggressive. It's aggressive, always looking for that trend, and so it has the tendency to capture these reversal days, and up 875 on the day, went short, reversed along, went to short, and then was able to aggressively get in on that afternoon rally because it is so aggressive. Mirror minus 525, lost at the beginning of the day on the initial drop in the market. And then you see Night Trader had a down day in Night Trader. 7 wins in a row, so this added to the difficulty on the day. Minus 1525 in Night Trader. Really straight line rally off these lows. This started at 1350. So 1350 Central Time, about an hour and 10 minutes before the cash close, straight up about, how many points is that? 50 points, 50-point rally right there. Pretty massive rally point-wise. And then we have 60-minute breakout, plus 212.50 on the close. Got long at the, you see this rally bar at the last hour, and got that breakout. And so we're positioned to capture continued move to the upside in the overnight. And let's look at the All Strategy XS2 tick pulsing Q, lost on the short side, minus 1255, and just hard to short this market. Continuation intraday, anything that signals the market's moving down doesn't seem to continue intraday. SR counter trend 2 did do well, shorting, plus 775 on the day. We have another breakout, 60-minute breakout in Q, up 500 on the day, halfway to its profit target, catching that, jumping in on the market after that run up here in the last hour. So positioned to catch a move higher. QS3 was a frustrating and tricky. Had some tricky price action around QS3. So you see a profit here, but it didn't really, it didn't work out this well in real trading, because there was about a 30-point pop there, a gap, almost a 30-point gap, 30 points of slippage if you were filled at that price. And then some of the, I've traded this on TradeStation 9.1 and on TradeStation 10, and some of the opens on some of this were higher. It printed at 10,745 open here, and then on another one it printed at 10,775 open. So it was a losing trade on some platforms and a winning trade on others. So even if you got the win, the slippage was terrible. So overall, just a very frustrating day with the way the market is moving, the back and forth price action, and the slippage on that trade. Tick count trend in Q, minus 2,500, 4 losses on that. The trend is down. But we can't catch a continuation move to the downside in this market. It keeps getting propped up, even though the market sells off mainly overnight and a little bit during the day, but it gets propped up, so it's hard to short on the day trade side. So looking forward to some upside price action. That seems to be the path of least resistance for day trades, even in a downward market. So looking forward to maybe continued price action to new highs, and capturing some long trades, since the short side is so challenging. Even though the market ought to go down, it is challenging. The upside on this was the 60-minute breakout short. Did have one nice short trade here, and it had a losing trade here and a losing trade here, but even down minus 275 on the day. After hours ES, no trades. Gap fill in reverse, no trades. And then gap continuation 2019, minus 975. These are some of the old strategies, old tick pullbacks. Those are not as good as the new ones. They're not that profitable, but they do have some big winners on some days. but overall our new tick pullbacks are better. So we were not trading these. These are part of the old All Strategy Axis. And so dynamic tick pullback, where did it do it? It was stopped out and then took a profit on the day as well. So right around break even on the day for that setup. And tick fader, no trades on the day. And looking at the VIX sums, we've looked at this during the pandemic, and we saw the yellow line represents the sum of the S&P VIX, or the CBOE VIX, gold VIX, and oil VIX. And during the pandemic, the sum of the VIX spiked to 291, these three, and right now it's at 94, which is still higher than historical norms, if you see that. And so it's something else I'm looking at. But the second wave could be coming, and so one of the things I'm thinking is that if the second wave hits, NASDAQ, the stock market will rally once again, because this is what the market does during a pandemic, is the market rallies. One of the latest numbers out of the Fed statement today was that household net worth was up in Q2 higher than it has ever been. So during a pandemic, the household net worth in the U.S. increased higher than it's ever increased in a quarter in Q2 of 2020. We all know that that's Fed stimulus, so it's very interesting to note that that's what happens to household net worth during a pandemic. You would think the opposite would be the case in an economic shutdown, but with the money printing presses, we can consider if that happens again, if we get a second wave, the market could go to all-time highs once again, or even higher. So something that we're looking at in the markets.